Deborah Factor. I am the Executive Director and CEO of Youth Corps Ministries. I'm here this morning to join you for Core Community Sunday for Meade County. I wish so much we could all be together this morning. I want to start with those of you who perhaps have not heard the Core Community story. I have been doing youth and children's ministry for over 26 years when you count my volunteer years. I've been with Youth Corps now for 21 years. In the context of doing youth and children's ministry, I had this I was working with kids who obviously came from lower economic situations. And over the course of my years of doing that work, I saw more and more young people who I knew had deep and profound relationships with Jesus. And I'm watching them walk into adulthood, and I'm watching them repeat the cycle of poverty. On the other side of the table, I am working with the church. I am a part of the Ministerial Alliance of Cuyahoga County, and I get the sense that the church feels like they're banging their heads against the wall when it comes to poverty. Like we are simply doing crisis care, and we're not seeing transformation, and I see the church frustrated by that. And so I just began to really seek the Lord, and I began to say, Father, if you're going to continue to bring me these amazing young people who live in poverty, and you're calling me to share the gospel with them, then Lord, you have to give me tools. You have to give me tools so that they can walk out of poverty. I'm not okay with them coming and sharing the gospel and saying, hang on, life's going to stink, but heaven's coming one day. I needed to be able to give them solutions. So I don't have time to tell you the fullness of my story today, but I began a journey seeking out those tools, and the Lord answered my prayer. About 5 years ago, we started a program in Greensburg, the smallest community in the nation, to try a program like this called Core Community. Very simple concept, a weekly gathering. We provide meals and we provide childcare, and we gather around the table and we begin to do life together and dig into some very important things together. What I saw happen, I saw people who would not look you in the eye suddenly look you in the eye and have self-esteem. I began to see lives absolutely transformed. I began seeing people who did not have jobs and hadn't had jobs for years suddenly getting employment. I began seeing people in part-time roles going back to college and getting education. I saw young high school dropouts who joined us, and then instead of sitting at home doing nothing, got off the couch and got their CNA license and went on and got employment and are now have a vehicle and their own place to live and a family. I began to see this program do what simple benevolence will not do. You see, we do food banks and we do benevolence with an expectation of transformation, but there's nothing transformative about those things. It's simply crisis care. Core Community is a program that is literally helping stabilize lives of those in our communities who are experiencing poverty. We are seeing them stabilize, and what I mean by that is we're no longer living in the constant crisis of the lights and the rent and food. We're also seeing some people literally walk out of financial poverty, and we define that as 200% above the federal poverty guideline. We, to date, throughout several of our programs, we now have 46 people, 31 adults and 15 children, out of financial poverty by that definition. What does that mean? It means home ownership. It means vehicles that work. It means cell phone numbers that last. It means the stress is down. It means kids doing better in school and getting off IEPs and getting off medications and just watching a family do better. Our heart and our passion is to wrap around in love, be the arms and feet of Jesus. So, Meade, our desire and plan was for you to launch this coming October. But in light of the COVID-19 virus, we most likely will have to postpone. It will probably be April of next year, perhaps March, that we start our program. Ann Clausen is our community liaison in your county. She is sharing the story. She is creating community awareness. She's the one that's pulled this thing together today, and she is also raising funding. In time, we will be hiring staff in your own community who will run this program through our coaching and support. Our dream is to launch again next spring. Of course, God could surprise us. and we could have some things come in and we could be able to start in October, but we suspect it'll be next spring. However, we are continuing to recruit, we're continuing to tell the story, we're continuing to raise money, and we've got a big event that we're going to do in the fall called a poverty simulation. And this is an event that we hope the community will pour out and be a part of. This is an opportunity. It's a 1 hour thing. You will come in and you will experience a month in poverty. It's a very active simulation. I have literally watched people in middle class just turned upside down by this experience. People walk away going, I had no idea. I ask for you to continue to pray for us. In just a second, you're going to see a couple of slides listing the members on the advisory board locally in your community with Ann's information. And if you are interested in getting involved or want to know more, would you please contact her? And we are praying and hoping and planning to start in your community soon.